Okay, so I don't know how exactly this is gonna work, but I'm doing a little review while on a walk because I don't know, I got no dogs with me and I got nothing better to do. So why not review? And actually, technically it's not over yet, although technically it is. Roll that back. That's a bit better. Perfect. Okay. So technically it's not finished yet. However, the 50th episode is only about the next Kamen Rider that will be. It's sort of a passing the torch episode, sort of, if you could call it that. It's basically they meet up, fight. Hey, go fight while we stay behind, kind of thing. Yes, if that's what you want to call it. Because I mean, that's what happened with with Drive going to Ghost. It was sort of a here, take Newton's icon, but I need that back. Also, just in case, you could use it to get your powers back, but spoiler alert, if you've watched the thing, he doesn't. He just kind of goes, and I shoot you and you die. That's basically it. So in the 49th episode, Takeru did come back to life. Icons 1 through 15 did disappear, but we have no word on Necron's icon, the Deep Spectre icon, Spectre's regular icon, and Ore's icon, and the Tokon Boost icon. We have no word of what happened to them. I'm assuming that Tokon Boost disappeared as well, but with no actual sort of visual of that just going foosh. Because that's what Mugen and 1 through 15 did do. He kind of dehenshined, and it was just in there in the air, and it just kind of went foosh. And I'm surprised no one questioned, hey, why aren't you using Mugen? You guys just saw lightning. Although I haven't seen the 49th episode with subs, so they very well could have questioned why he wasn't using his most powerful form. And even then, he used Ore. Why not use Tokon Boost? That Tokon Boost is more powerful than Ore. We've seen this. That's why he got the new one. That, and also he died again. Or rather, disappeared. His time was up. So, overall, without subs, that episode was amazing. Although, some parts in it were a bit iffy. So, and spoiler it for this, Takeru is laying on a building. He's just been forced dehenshin by massive gun miser plus great eye combination. Don't know if there's a word for that, there probably is. And it probably has Kamen Rider in the front of it because everything does these days. He's laying across the building, forced to dehenshin. He's just sort of talking, like he's looking off, and the monster is sitting there beaming people with the eye, with its eye, and I don't know if this is true or not, it's hitting them and turning them into their souls, I guess. And while he's just laying there, it just kind of disappears. And then he looks down at everyone. Well, he looks down at Spectre and Necrom, and they're just sort of standing there not doing nothing. And I'm just going, why aren't you doing anything? Get up, do something. He's still probably killing people, I think. But overall, and apart from that, great episode. Apart from one other thing. And I don't know about this for sure, but his conversation with Freya and the physical representation of the Great Eye. One question before I talk about that. What happened to the kid? What happened to that white-faced kid? And by white-faced, I mean like, they threw flour into his face and went, go on set. I don't know what happened to him. He just disappeared. Or he turned into the, oh gosh, there's lightning. Or he turned into the two girls. Where'd they come from? Who knows? And I mean that literally. Like, there are a lot of questions in Kamen Rider to where nothing gets answered of where did the drivers come from? Technically, we did get that answered. Takeru's father built them. Why do they look like that, though? Where did the icons come from? Why do they look like that? But his conversation with Rhea, or the combo between them, from what I caught, not knowing much Japanese, I thought he was gonna do the thing of save everyone. Well, I thought he was gonna do the thing that he did with Kono. Save everyone else and leave me to die. I'm fine with that, which he perfectly might well be, but I'm sure this time, and I don't know exactly what they talked about yet, I'm gonna do another episode on that episode when I do get the subs, if I remember. But I think this time he sort of looked, or rather thought about, like, I'm fine with dying, but my friends aren't. And that's what caused him to save everyone else and himself, somehow. But overall, the series was really great. And I mean the whole series here when I say this, apart from a few bits, and I said this watching the episode, where if you've been keeping up on this show, you'll remember a part where he reached a point where I believe, and I can't remember this for sure because I haven't watched those episodes in a long time, but he reached a point where, oh, I know exactly what it was. It was just before he got the Icon Driver G. And I remember this because he's sitting kind of given up. He lays back near this water place. I have no clue, but he sort of has given up. And I remember this because he says to Akari and subsequently Makoto that all of the icons, all of the heroes are gone. Like, they've left him. So, and just sort of given up, and he's like, I don't want to do this anymore. And it takes Makoto to literally punch him in the face to get him to, oh my gosh, I still have to do this. And that's what I kind of liked about that. I really hated how Takeru was very good starting, and then when he got to that point, I was like, no, I don't like him anymore. Like, I don't know. And it took Makoto punching him in the face for him to snap out of it and go, okay, I'm a good person again. And watching episode 49, he was just sort of standing there, and I was like, Makoto, we might need to punch him again. And I thought that was really funny. But apart from that, and the sort of tropes of Kamen Rider to where they don't fight very well at some points, to where they leave themselves blatantly open when they know they don't have to where they'll throw a punch and someone will catch it, and instead of doing something else, they'll just wait for them to do what they're doing. So like say, Takeru throws a punch at someone in an Ultima form. Or, no, I have a perfect example here. When Takeru gets Tokan Boost, and this is sort of the perfect example, because he's fighting Javaru, and Javaru throws a punch, and Takeru grabs it, and instead of Javaru sort of punching him, he waits for Takeru to punch him, which makes no sense. I mean, he's punching you, move away, dodge, block, do whatever. I don't care, just stop yourself from being punched. And I mean, Takeru, Necrom, and Spectre have done it countless times. It's happened to them countless times. But other than that, great series. Sad to see it go. But, oh, one more thing about X-Aid. The bikes being a bicycle makes no sense. Literally at all. Ever. at all. Ever. Like, I'm assuming Dark X8 walks into this thing, takes out his bicycle, and starts beating the ghosts, or the Gamma foot soldiers with the bicycle. And when he summons it, I'm going, wait, what just happened? Like, literally, what? Why a bicycle? So I don't think I'm gonna look forward to that aspect of X8, but I think I'll get used to it. Frankly, I don't feel like I have to get used to it, but the first time I saw Ghost and subsequently Drive, and before that Gaim, the first time I saw Ghost, I was like, nah, looks pretty good. Can't wait to see what happens. Especially with Gaim, and saw that it was an orange as his armor, and I went, nah, I don't know if I'm gonna like that one. And ended up loving it. It's great, apart from the issues I had with it. But I'll get into those in a later video. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. Don't really have much to say. Although, why exactly did I do have one question? Why exactly did Mugen sort of whoosh away? Like, I loved how he just sort of henshined without touching anything into Mugen, which was amazingly awesome. I was like, all right, he's badass at that point. That's awesome. But why did it just sort of disappear? No. Why did it just fade away is my question. Why did it just sort of go whoosh and gone? It made no sense at all. But, I had an idea of the first time I had seen, the first time that Spectre was sort of on his side, on Takeru's side, and Javaru comes up with the Gundaris, and they sort of smack Takeru to the ground, and Musashi just sort of comes from nowhere and starts talking to him. I thought, oh, that's cool. I had a great idea for a fight scene, and it was perfect when I saw him get the Icon Driver G, because of the fact that he could summon all of them at once. Well, looking past that, how he could just, or rather they could summon themselves, was perfect to my idea of a fight scene that went like this. Either he went base form, Tokon boost, or Grateful, and they summoned themselves, or he summoned them using the Icon Driver G. They were summoned. That's all that matters, is that we're summoned. And it works better with base form and the Tokon boost, because Grateful isn't really compatible with the different forms that Ghost has in its arsenal. Kind of like how you saw there was no Ghost change with Mugen. He didn't go Mugen and then change into something else. It wasn't a base form. It was his final form. His super amazingly awesome, OP, fucking powerful form. But it was a final form. And god damn, that thing was so overpowered. So they got summoned, and one by one, he'd change into them without touching anything. Like, they'd just sort of be like, tag in, change. And he'd defeat some amazingly big, amazingly strong monster guy using that. And it'd go in order from 1 to... Okay, and it worked like that, to where it went from Ore to Musashi to Miko, or even Houdini, because he did use Houdini once when Makoto's icon got destroyed, and he was like, I will do this for you, click. My horns have changed, why? That's the other thing I didn't get about how that sort of form worked. Especially because of the fact that every other icon summoned a form for them to use, to where Houdini was just there. He was a bike. Why? It would have been entirely possible for the inside chest piece thing to be inside the icon. And then he'd take it, hit the henshin like normal. That would appear, he would put it on, and then his bike would pop open and he'd use that as an alternate form. It didn't make sense for it to be all one piece. Plus, I think I know why the horns changed. Because of how the bike is designed, it has giant. And I guess that was just the design, how it was